Welcome back to JB Reviews. I finally found one. Every time I went to go do a review on this truck, it was either pre-sold or couldn't find the keys for it. And finally, 2023 GMC Sierra 3500 Ultimate Denali. Here it is, guys. Looks so good too. Before we get started, special shout out to Jerry Seiner GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. They did allow me to do this video. If you are in the market, they have like 50 or 60 of these trucks here. Not like this one, obviously, but they do have a couple more like this, and they have a huge selection of inventory. Be sure to check them out. And on that note, let's go ahead and take a look at the window sticker so we can see all the options and see how expensive this truck is. This is the window sticker for the truck we're going to be reviewing, and then at the top here you guys can see the specs for this particular build. And then here's some of your standard equipment. Be sure to pause it if you want to see more. And then standard price is going to be $73,300. And Duramax diesel is the first option and the most expensive one at $97.50. So I'll give you that 10-speed Allison. And the black diamond is what's giving you those black wheels too, by the way. And then Denali Ultimate's down here. And then here's everything that's going to come in there. And Ebony Twilight Metallic was $495. And then this one does have the GMC Multi-Pro tailgate with the step lights too. And that's a dealer install. And then all in with destination at $1,895, you have a total price of $90,465. So up front, this truck has a chrome front. It was almost murdered out, almost, but they couldn't do it. I guess either a supplier issue or whatever, because I remember them doing a blackout for this truck. But honestly, blackout is getting kind of old. I feel like it's played out. Everyone has a blackout. I mean, Kias and all kinds of small cars have it. Just everyone's doing it now, so it doesn't really matter. It's not as cool as it used to be. And I actually don't mind the chrome front. Like, this is one of the best styled grills of all time. One of the best on the HD segment. Love the headlight design. I think that GM does it the best. It has a really bold front end, and I think it's just menacing. Forward facing camera, you can kind of see it right there, and tow hooks down below finished in chrome, parking sensors, full LED everything, turn signals, low beam, high beam, fog lights. Looks great. Hood scoop, and this one does have the clearance lights. You should never buy a HD without clearance lights, I'm just saying. And then off to the side, you have these black wheels. This truck looks so stinking good with those black wheels. And it's just not too much too. You know, you have it around the windows. There's a lot of trim pieces here and there. But I think having the black wheel just really, this makes it look so tough. And these are basically the same design wheels that you see. Now, something that's odd is you cannot get this design if you're ordering your truck. You have to get the Denali Ultimate, basically. And they do have other black wheel designs too. They have one that's completely blacked out, then they have one that's machined. But yeah, these are the Goodyear Wrangler. These are the Trail Runners, great tire. I have them on my AT4. And they're 275/65/20, which is a 34-inch tire. Independent front suspension. And you do have a chrome trunk piece on the power deployable running board. And there's an LED strip down below too. These mirrors have cameras on them and backup lights. You have the smart key system front and rear doors. And because this is a diesel, you're gonna have that DEF fill 7-gallon, and then you have a 36-gallon DEF tank. Steps, of course. GM was first to market for that. And they have the biggest bed for standard setup. So if you don't want a long bed, this one does give you a little bit extra space compared to the Ram and the Ford, although the Ford is about the same size. But yeah, come on guys. I think this is the best looking HD on the market today. I tried to get a Ram over here to put next to this one, but couldn't do it because they didn't have a 3500, and all the 2500s are on stop sale, so all the keys were gone. So yeah, maybe in the future we'll do it. Now obviously you have those Rancho shocks because this does have that, it was the X31 package I believe it's called. You have 2 overload leaf springs and 5 leaves in the main pack. And you got your little lights on the fender flares. Some people don't like those. I actually don't mind them. I think they look kind of cool. And then you have a blackout tail light with a step out back. This one has the camera views for your trailer. There's 2, and then your 7-pin. Class 5 receiving hitch, parking sensors. This one does have the standard multi-flex tailgate. Is that what it's called? I can't ever remember. And then this one also has the kicker sound system too. And I believe it has some lights too. Yeah, there's some lights down there. USBs. You don't really see this. I mean, for $90,000, the only thing that sucks about this truck is the interior. But honestly, I think for what you're getting, I could overlook it. I've already done it, so I'm sure most people can too. So the only thing you guys saw missing on this truck was it did not have the 5th wheel prep package. So that is an option for this truck. You do have bed lights. You have 2 extra cameras right there, one for the bed and one for your rearview mirror. Full LED lights. And I don't normally show you guys up here, but you do have that sunroof. No panoramic sunroof available for the GM trucks quite yet. And then here is a power plug. This is a really, really nice truck. You don't normally see them this way. I actually was going to try to get one. I just didn't want to order it. And I didn't really check with them to see if they had any more coming in like this. But I probably would have wanted it in white. I can't remember if you can get this in white or if it's all in black only. But I would have preferred white. But yeah, love these wheels. They look really cool on this truck. So as you guys know, this truck does have the Duramax. So let's go ahead and pop the hood and talk about it. So what is there not to love about the Duramax? Listen, this engine is really good. I almost think it's probably one of the best when it comes down to reliability. I know that to be true. And realistically, I think that the power delivery is great. You know, most people know this by now, especially if you've been following me for any time frame. This truck does have a 12-inch ring gear out back. And because this truck doesn't have as much horsepower and torque as the other two, I feel like you get more of that low-end grunt, and there's just no torque management in this truck. You don't feel it at the very least. And who knows, maybe for the 2024 model year when they have the new Duramax with more horsepower and torque, maybe they will have to reduce that power in that first gear. But you get all power in first gear. I don't care what anyone tells you, this truck is 100% the fastest off the line. Now obviously it runs out of steam around 40 to 50 miles an hour compared to the Ford, but nevertheless it's still a great contender. 445 horsepower, 910 pound-feet of torque. Made it to a 10-speed transmission, stamped approved by Allison. So I think it's a great option. I mean, everyone in the Ram market wants them to put the same transmission behind the Ram, but Allison doesn't make a 10-speed transmission. Keep in mind too, you do have a functional hood scoop. Ram just unveiled a performance hood, but they did not give it a hood scoop though. That's functional. So I like that GM is the only one in the market doing that. Now obviously this is where everyone just turns off my videos when I go inside of a GM truck and show you the interior. No one wants to see this anymore because GM did shoot themselves in the foot. But honestly, me living with this interior, I have the AT4, it's basically the same. I just don't have the wood accents inside of my interior. But all jokes aside, I had one of the best interiors money could buy in the HD segment back in 2019. And although I do miss some features of that truck, I don't really miss that truck. And this interior, let's face it, it's not the best. It's not gonna wow you, but it's functional, it works, and I think that it's still a great contender even against the other two, because you have things like the heads-up display, you have a telescoping steering wheel. Ram doesn't have a telescoping steering wheel. You can extend out the mirrors really easily. You can power fold them in. You have seat memories. This has automatic four-wheel drive. I mean, even the display here gives you great information. I believe that it's not the best, but it gives you enough information to keep you happy. I mean, you can see your transmission temperature. You have to set all that up basically, but there's good information in here, and all you have to do, let me see here. I don't think I saw it in there, so let's go back real quickly. So yeah, you have your tire pressure, engine hours are right there, transmission fluid, and then it would all be under here. You have your engine hours, you have your temperature for your transmission. So you do have great information. And this system here is decent. It's not my favorite, I will be honest. But one thing I like about this is you do have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And they have a great trailering app on here basically, where you can monitor a lot of stuff. You can see the miles that you towed your trailer. You can see the temperature gauge over here, and you don't necessarily need the navigation because you do have the Apple CarPlay, so you can just use your maps on your phone. It shows you your temperature and your time. One thing I will say about this system is when you are in Apple CarPlay, you cannot see the temperature, and they do not put it here, so I would like for them to fix that. But like I said, as I mentioned earlier, you do have heads-up display, very nice, and LED lights, home links up there. This one does have the sunroof. I did also notice that this one does have a lighter roof color compared to the rest of the interior. You can see it better right there. Mine doesn't have that. Mine's completely black. Wireless charger right down below. And then here's some of your storage. Some more technology. GM was first to market for that. And yeah, leather wrapped center console, 2 cup holders, and then 2 more up front there too. And they give you enough USBs. You have 2 there, and you have 2 more in here. They're still lagging behind RAM. RAM has the most. They give you 4 right here. And you do have additional power plugs right there. If you are planning on towing, I will show you guys the payload here in a second, but you do have tow haul mode. You just swipe this toggle to the left and it will turn on. And notice how it will change the battery voltage to the transmission temperature. You have your exhaust brake down here, trailer brakes there, and that's pretty much it. Let's hop out back. I actually almost forgot to show you guys the camera views. I feel like I have to show this to you at least every once in a while. But yeah, you have different camera views here. You can actually see like an aerial view too. This is great for backing up your trailer. You can see the back, or if you're at the trails, you can see where your tires are outside. And this turns off the bird's eye view right there. And then out back, you can actually do a line for your conventional hitch or your parking lot lines. Lastly, here is the bed camera that you can zoom into. And then you have this line too. Now here's the back, all wrapped in leather. There is a lot of hard plastic, I will be honest. Nice wood trim piece out back too. And this is a nice size cab too. I like the amount of space you get. It's a flat floor surface. You have heated seats out back for the outboard seats, 2 USBs, and an additional DC 12 volt plug there. 60/40 bench. This one does have those tire pressure monitoring for your trailer. Storage in the seat backs there. And this pulls out to show you more cup holders. And you have that other storage on that side too. And one thing I like that they do too is you can put the headrest down. I don't think Ford allows you to do this. I like that they give that option to you because these headrests do affect your blind spot a little bit. And here's the moment most of you have been waiting for. What is the payload? How does this truck with all the options affect the payload? So right down here, you guys can see you have your gross vehicle weight rating at 12.1. And gross axle weight rating up front is going to be 5,600 pounds. And then your gross combined weight rating is going to be 29.7. The rear gross axle weight rating is going to be 7,250. And this truck is heavy, 8,318 pounds, which gives it a payload of 3,782 pounds. 20,000 pound conventional towing, 21.2 for Gooseneck. And yeah, here's the yellow sticker for those who want to see. And that will pretty much end this video. It's a quickie. You guys have seen these trucks so much, I almost don't like to show you all of it all the time. I just like to show you the payload, and just whenever I get like a specialty truck like this where it's all blacked out. I've just never seen one before on dealer lots, and when I do see them, they're either sold or yeah, they're either customers. But yeah, special shout out to Jerry Seiner, GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. This truck is available. It's $91,000, but keep in mind the other two are more expensive.